We are poets versus MCs versus comedians, but today we're uniting against one common enemy, and that is PC drones. I don't know an awful lot about PC drones, but we've kind of used our creative input to funnel it into this topic. So I'm going to kick it off with Eben, who's going to give us a little rap.
Hi, so I'm a 14-year-old MC. And I've written a piece against PC drones. You notice the irony that I am in fact reading off my phone, so I can't be that against technology, but there you go. With PC drone, all is known by the corporate puppet on the hierarchy throne. Its cameras can breach the privacy of your home, where the monitoring stops, who knows? Live weapons and be armed, unable to be held accountable for those it's harmed. For a peaceful democratic institute, they sure are rough. How do we know who controls them? How do we know if it's corrupt? Because how many robot whistleblowers do you know? And as far as I'm aware, there are no rules that this government follow. They'd be taking and making secrets, but only these drones could see it, but none of them could speak it. Yet we'd all know deep down we're being watched, therefore any thoughts of rebellion stopped, whether they were or not. The effect of this placebo would squash all rebellious egos and leave us with as many protesters as people in San Marino. Collective ignorance doesn't mean we're free though, because we be dictated by something more screws than a good libido. Point is, a watch kettle never boils. How would we shape the coils? It's a matter of trust. They don't trust us, do you trust them? Because it's a reality show, Big Brother without the consent. Ring any bells, you'll draw well, 1984. When it comes to privacy from the government, there are no laws, especially as it's only these puppet robots there to enforce. How long do they have a complete robot police force? Because once they realise more information can be found out, how long till companies endorse? In a group of spying, invading drones which operate without remorse. We're dehumanising criminals. Drones will make it worse, not fix it, because drones will collect them as a statistic. But I failed to see the logistics, because protocols don't mean judgment. How can a robot see injustice? Using these tools to our secrets mean nothing. All the stupid, unheard of laws, but how would a bot know which to enforce? Because if I had money to fight crime, I'd invest in eliminating the source. That means helping those from backgrounds that are war-torn, helping people shut in council flats who you never saw. I believe fighting robot dictatorship is a must, a civil law. Thank you. Next, we've got a very talented poet and playwright, Ella.
Thanks, Evan. Thanks. Sorry, thank you so much for asking us to perform here, by the way. I've never really done one of these events before. My piece of writing doesn't specifically focus just on drones, but something that I feel personally very passionate about is like how technology is influencing the way we police each other, especially online today, and how our social media climate has meant it's very easy to make assumptions on people and judgments on people purely based on their aesthetical appearances, and how this works in parallel with how we're losing our humanity and just purely basing all our judgment on our technology. And this poem's called Levitation. Once, all we had was limited within the confines of our receptors. Skin to heat, eyes to light, tongue to apple. And all that surrounds us, the spinning of planets, the time that grounds us, the little bits of matter which collided and somehow found us to form us, we have used to transform us into new versions of ourselves. We grow into a future made up of new senses, new ways to instantly cram our brains. And the screens that now guide us scratch subliminally into each of our minds, the minds that were designed so intelligently, we once thought, to keep us working, ticking and unpicking. But soon, we'll resort to machines to do all of this, to constantly feed us, shape and breed us. Having moved so quickly, our stories have become condensed within the ticking clockwork of humanity. As we make room for a world of expanding innovations, the future of evolution takes a new connotation, one that would lead our former gods to condemnation, light, sound, kinetic energy distorted, pushed into particles, directed through warped mediums that no former fortune teller had the knowledge to believe in, that no higher being ever could foresee, and so we meddle. We meddle with the trust of this world. We meddle with the air and the soil and the skin that takes it all in because we are trying to make sense of it all. The rich and the poor of all we have been given is now funneled into some sense of all-knowing, some distorted human vision, or perhaps not human at all, some divine, godly vision, for we praise it too. We follow, we subscribe, we like, trapped behind screens where we clone, design and refine, and as future generations come by, their receptors, their eyes so overly exposed to these robots with flesh and bone, our perfect, virtualized, parallel, all of us, sat on a royal throne. Yes, once we thought it would be some god or totalitarian leader watching our every move, but no. The ones watching us are ourselves, so overly obsessed with each other, each locked into a system that will read us cover to cover, so worried about how we look on the outside, not even told to be aware of the demons that fester inside, the storms that we hide. Will the future of us make sense of it all? This new breed we have created, these extra parts of our bodies, and all we put out there, the shape of our face, the colour of our hair, the sum worth of us used to like or to tear, the polished surface of it all, how we worship it all. Who knew it would be our freedom that would lead us to our fall? Thank you. I'd just like to pass it on to Farah, who's going to do some comedy for you.
Hello. Yeah, it says poets versus MCs, and that's true, we've got an MC and a poet, but I am neither. I am a comedian. I can't rhyme, and I have a terrible sense of rhythm. So it's the same thing. But we all went to Edinburgh together with a bunch of other people, and to reiterate what Ella said, we're really grateful to be here. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot technical about PC drones. When I was told to do something about PC drones, I thought they meant political correctness drones. Like little robots flying around pepper spraying people who assume their gender. So, yeah. But, I talked to a group of my friends about this who know more about it. And apparently in America, they've already made drones that can shoot people without human command. Yeah, that's terrifying. But we're not going to get that here, right? Not in Britain. No, that's scary. We'll get drones that will police tea breaks. It'll be fine. So I was thinking drones that seek out people who are drinking tea and they haven't got a biscuit and they just plop a little Tesco's digestive near their mug. So I mean, it's all going to be fine, right? We're not going to get scary shooting drones. Everything will be fine. Yeah, it'll be fine. So I was thinking more about the different kind of drones. American drones are scary, and well, maybe we keep human police officers, if anything, just so they still have a job, and keep them to solve the big, scary, proper crimes and seek out the actual criminals and star in TV dramas, and then have drones to do little minute crimes. So politeness drones. So we could have drones that will crash through the window. If you've got a friend round, and again, you make them tea. A lot of my humour is based around tea. So if you've got a friend round, you make them a cup of tea, and they go to put their cup on your brand new coffee table, a drone could just smash through the window, and a little arm could just out the side with a coaster. And just, thank you. Or if you're round, say, your nan's house or something, a drone could just drop down from the ceiling and just crochet a little doily right there when you need it. Or if we do have police drones, they could have one of those policeman hats with a little button and just order people into queues if they're being a bit rowdy a little bit. So, just get them to do nicer things rather than shooting people, because that's terrifying. Or if they are going to order criminals to, don't be criminals, stop people from committing crimes, they could do that by maybe just making them so bored and sad that they don't want to commit crimes by just flying around and droning on all the time. A little bit like I have been doing for the past 4 minutes. Thank you so much for having us.